India and where?
In litigation in India. So yes, I've written like around 86 research papers process that cannot happen online. No matter how tech savvy, fear that he's doing or she's doing so much and I'm not able to do it. Publish with all these paid platforms,
Exactly.
and
Yes.
it's going to be a horrible situation where maybe the arbitrator will not understand.
Are you talking about only college events that happen, or also you should participate in like another colleges also?
I start with an introduction, right?
Hmm.
The introduction sort of tells you why you're doing this paper.
Eligibility criteria for practicing there in Abu Dhabi. So, sir, we welcome you to the session. You are a highly legal professor, and also we would love to hear your journey. So, first, introduce about yourself.
I mean, my name is Manohar Samal. You can even read it in
Sure.
whatever recorded video is there. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and podcast.
yes, yes. I have been, practicing uh, since quite a long time because I've been going to court since I was in college, right? I'm a second generation lawyer and sort of run my own firm, which is we are specialized in tax law, corporation law, and we do international commercial dispute resolution as well. I'm empaneled with a few arbitration institutions, four to be very precise, and I have also presided as an arbitrator in some cases. I regularly appear before international commercial courts as well in commercial disputes, as well as in litigation in India. So, yes, I've written like around 86 research papers. Some of them are government funded technical reports, as well as, published with Scopus Index journals. So, yeah, that's pretty much what my background is.
You're highly experienced. So, like, how do you see the future of arbitration?
Right. So, see, the future of arbitration is um, is going to be certainly filled with technology, right? So, see, there's a misconception that we are going to have some AI arbitrators or
Hmm.
sort of AI replacing elements of arbitration, but that's simply not true because this technology is incapable of doing that. It can certainly supplement and help the process, right? But there's no scope of it just replacing it. So certainly we will see in the use of technology and in the increased use of ODR platforms and in the use of artificial intelligence for portraying evidence. But there are some elements which are included in an arbitration process that cannot happen online, no matter how tech savvy the arbitrator is or the parties are. And for some of it is like cross examination, right? Cross examination is civil cross examination, which is undertaken in the arbitration process. So that has to happen face to face. If you have an online cross examination, it's going to be a horrible situation where maybe the arbitrator will not understand. So
Yes.
some of it will certainly happen physically, but yes, we will see a shift to more technologically savvy arbitration in the near future.
And also, sir, you have written so many research papers, as you said. So, can you highlight what are the techniques and strategies to write a perfect research paper as a student? Like, what should we know while writing a research paper?
So see, writing a research paper involves solving problems. If you don't understand this, you've not understood research, right? There are a lot of people who are just trying to publish with all these paid platforms,
Exactly.
and
Yes.
they just paraphrase. Yes, they just paraphrase the content of other people, and then try to show it off as original and
Yes.
publish just for the sake of publication. So that has no value, right?
Hmm.
Try to publish one paper in a year, but with a reputed journal, and solve a problem in an original way. If you want research, if you want your research to be valued, it has to be solving a problem in a very novel way, in a new way, right? Which has not been done before.
Huh.
So it's better to focus on quality rather than quantity. Focus on problem solving, and you'll understand how research is to be done.
What should be included and what are the strategies to write a research paper? Like, can you go in depth?
Right, right. Yes, yes, absolutely. So, see, of course, you start with an introduction, right?
Hmm.
The introduction sort of tells you why you're doing this paper. So, it also gives you the objective of why the paper is being done.
Hmm.
Then you explain the concept as it is, right? The concept in a present situation, whichever
Hmm.
topic you're dealing with,
Hmm.
of how the law sees it, or maybe how the people see it, and what is the impact over it of it in a particular country, let's
Okay.
say, or in a particular set of countries if you're doing comparative research.
Yes.
Then you come straight to the problem and you showcase why a particular problem exists,
Yes.
right? And what are the issues which are being faced by the entire community or whatever your target group is, what is
Yes.
being faced in the country.
Okay.
Then once that is done, you straight away go with trying to solve that issue, yeah, and provide your recommendations. Now, this is the most crucial part of your research because I read a lot of papers where I see your recommendations are the government should do or the law
Okay.
must be amended, right? That's not a
Yes.
solution.
Yes.
You're just saying should be there, should be there, should be there.
Okay.
You have to be able to give real, actionable, workable solutions. So once you give the solutions, then of course you conclude. And after doing this entire process, you write an abstract. Some people
Okay.
make the mistake of writing an abstract right in the beginning, right?
Yes.
So you've not identified why you're doing the research. So it always comes in the end.
So it needs to be put at the end while after research, or like the format
No, no, no,
itself
no,
is
no.
like to
So see,
write adding.
so see,
Yeah.
I understand that you are asking from a law student's perspective, and it's
Yes.
necessary
Exactly.
for me to tell you this. Yes,
Hmm.
you just write the word abstract and then start with
Okay.
your paper, right?
Okay.
But the abstract
Okay.
comes first. Although you
Ah.
write it
Yes.
last, it comes first.
Ah.
Yes, yes. So it's very necessary for you to do it after it's done, or else your
Okay.
abstract and your paper will not match. And a lot of students face this when they send papers for publication.
Yes.
The reviewers will be telling that the abstract is saying something else and the paper is saying something else. So it doesn't make sense, right? There's no nexus
Yes.
between each other.
Exactly. Yes.
So yeah, you have to ensure that it comes in together, and that can be only done after you finish the paper. Although the abstract is the first thing you see in a
Okay.
research paper. And see, your abstract has to do something called the hook technique, right? It's called the hook technique.
Hmm.
If I'm wanting to read a paper, I will read that 200 word abstract, and that is
Hmm.
going to help me in deciding if I want to read further or no.
Yes.
Why would use my time in
Yes.
reading a 10,000 word paper if I don't like what is written in the abstract?
Yes.
So don't make it boring, right? Use the hook
Hmm.
technique. You can probably
Okay.
even Google.
And also, sir, like as you have been in arbitration and ADGM courts as well. So what's the difference between in India and there
So
working
see,
there?
there are a lot of differences. Yes, one is the requirement of more people, right? Because the dispute
Mm.
it's at a different level. It's not
Okay.
local. Secondly, what happens is in international law, in international commercial courts, is that most of the international commercial courts follow English law.
Okay.
However, if it's an international arbitration, there will be a different law chosen inside the contract itself. So let's
Okay.
say if the contract says that the arbitration will be governed
Mm.
by the laws of Netherlands. So
Okay.
you have to know the law of Netherlands,
Okay. So it's been
right?
told
So
priorly that you have to follow that law or something like that.
yeah, that's there in the contract itself. So,
Okay.
or if you're going before an international commercial court, it will always be English law. So it's a different law. Yeah. So
Okay.
the distinctive factor is that you have to understand the different law. You have to study on a different law, study the jurisprudence there, study the
Mm.
case law there, right?
Mm.
Other thing is you're dealing with people who are not of your own nationality. So you
Mm.
have to be very mindful of their local customs. You have to
Mm.
be very mindful of when you're asking for a date. You have to be very respectful. You shouldn't be discriminatory because those things create trouble. They create difficulties. So dealing with an international audience requires you to be very mindful of what words come out of your mouth because you can't just say something and then get away with it. It's 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 a supremely different
Mm.
setup.
And like what was the eligibility criteria for practicing there in Abu Dhabi? Was there any difference?
In ADGM courts, so see, in ADGM courts, you pretty much just have to be from a common law country, and you have to pay the registration fee. That's it. But why would someone apply there if they don't have work, right?
Yes.
So that's the thing. You need to have clients also, or else there's no point in applying there. So pretty much
Okay.
see how the international court commercial court system works is it's open to everybody who's from a common
Okay.
law country. They will never
Okay.
restrict it to you, right?
Okay.
You have to just pay their annual fee as well as apply over there and get rights of audience. And then of course you have to do a hard job of getting clients over there, or else there's no point in having that registration. You're just paying the fee every year.
Exactly. Like first of all, you need to have those clients, and then you can practice there. So, how challenging was it to get those clients, or what was it challenging for you? As you are a second generation, maybe there might be difference, but can you share that experience?
So the short answer is no. Like you said, I'm second generation, right?
Mhm.
So we our firm has a reputation of being there since 1993. So it's a
Okay.
lot of time. That's yeah, like almost 33 years. So we've been here since a very long time. So I have not had any difficulties. But let's say speaking from a first generation lawyer,
Yes, exactly.
how could you be exposed to this kind of stuff, right? Or
Yes.
when I say you, I don't mean you. I mean
Yeah,
anyone, like right, who's the
yes,
first
yes.
generation. Yeah. So the importance here is to understand that this is a very closed community. So once you start networking, you'll realize that no one wants to talk to you, right? I mean, I'm being very blunt and I'm
Yes,
saying this
exactly.
upfront.
Yeah, sure.
In the international arbitration and international commercial court community, they don't want new people to come because that means a
Hmm.
cut from their own payment, right?
Exactly, yes.
More competition.
Hmm.
So they try to keep it very closed. The best way to do is to join firms which
Okay.
have work, right? Yes. For this, you have to be an excellent law student, of course, because only the best of best get chosen in these firms, which have regular work before international commercial courts and before international arbitration, arbitral
Hmm.
tribunals, and all these top institutions like LCI, ICC, and all so on. I mean, you know the list. So it's necessary for you to actually work under someone who has real work over there, and maybe after a few years of experience you can explore by maybe setting up your own practice, and by then you will have a reputation and actual
Okay.
evidence of having been appearing before those courts, so you're automatically part of the community, then you face no
Okay.
difficulties. So for a first generation lawyer, I would request you to be
Yes,
excellent.
sure.
Yeah,
So,
because there is, the truth is that there is nepotism, so it's very necessary that you always remain excellent so that you are recognized, and it's not always the guy whose father or mother is a lawyer who's getting work,
okay.
right? So
So, is there any role of recommendation also? Like, as you had recommendation?
the role of recommendation certainly helps, but see, let me tell you this: recommendation comes after you have experience.
Okay.
Why would someone recommend you, right? If someone recommends you, it's because they've experienced
Huh.
that you are good counsel, right?
Yes.
So it's not easy to get a recommendation. It might
Huh.
sound like, oh, I just asked someone to get a recommendation, but no one's going to give you
Okay.
that, right?
Okay.
So if you've actually worked and you've actually shown yourself as being useful, that's when you're going
Hmm.
to
Huh.
be recommended, or else no one will even recommend, right? That's the entire point of.
Okay. So, can you elaborate on what is like student law student that you said? So, can you elaborate much on that regarding marks or like regarding experience?
So see, marks is not everything. I'm a 55 percenter. Let me tell you this.
Okay.
From Mumbai University, from the same college where you're studying.
I'll
So
come to
it's
that also.
I'm telling you, right, right, or I mean whatever.
Yes.
So uh, I have seen, at least in litigation and dispute resolution,
Hmm. Hmm.
that the most practical people are the best lawyers, right? So
Hmm.
it doesn't matter if you get like good marks or no, because marks is not a determinative factor. This doesn't mean that you fail, right? I mean, I'm not telling you to fail or not just
Okay.
borderline pass. If you're good at academics, please go ahead and get good marks. No one is stopping you. But that's not the sole determining factor. You have to have an open mind. You have to do everything, right? You have to do
Okay.
moot courts. You have to
Huh.
do parliamentary debates or whatever, like all other forms of debates. You have to
Yes.
write papers. You have to do different types of internships. Don't restrict yourself. Your job
Okay.
as a student is to learn. So
Yes.
if you restrict yourself, it's going to create problems. And don't spend money on all these expensive courses and all that. All right, it's useless, frankly.
Okay.
Maybe some people may not agree with me, but there is a certain requirement. Let's see, if you require a particular course, if it's actually going to teach you something, please
Hmm.
go ahead with it. I'm not going to stop you. I'm
Yes.
someone who's done, I think, 115 courses, right?
Oh.
So I
Good
literally
that
have
you said that
like this.
statement. Hmm.
Yes, yes,
Uh-huh.
115 courses. So this is how my certificates look like. And I've realized that my internships have helped me more. And some
Okay.
courses have certainly helped me. But then
Hmm.
internship first, then
Okay.
comes your moot court or whatever.
Hmm. Okay.
Then comes your research. and then comes everything else, whatever debates you want to do, courses you want to do, everything you want to do. So it's this is how your CV should look like, because
Okay.
that's the first thing I'm looking for when I want to recruit someone. Internship is the first thing I'm looking for. So I'm not saying don't do it, but be well rounded,
Open.
be an all rounder.
Yes.
Yes,
And also, when did you started your internship? Like while
I
being in
started
college?
my okay me. I started at the age of 16 when I was in 11th standard. Yeah, so
Oh,
that's because of my yeah. So I was going to high court already when I was 16 years old. That's before my law started. So,
okay.
but of course, I wouldn't recommend that to people. You should start right from first year onwards
Okay.
and work under different people. But because of my second generation advantage, I started when I was 16. So,
Okay. So like as in college, like in the Vivekanand College of we have also been an alumni and it's a prestige to be with like connect with you. And also like I would like to ask you like is there any role of college uh like not from your perspective but from every other law student? Like is the college brand important for discussing in law?
fran- frankly, no. Do you know that no one ever asks you which college are you from? No one cares, right? I mean, see, in fact, it is you who are supposed to contribute to the college, not the other way around. So I see
Yes,
this thing amongst students, right?
yes,
Oh, I'm from a non-NLU and my college won't fund me, so I won't be able to go and all that.
exactly. Yeah.
See, it's your job to make the college popular, not the other way around, right? And
Yes,
that is what I've never understood. I will never be ashamed of saying I'm from VS Law just because it's a fairly new college, right?
yes,
I will just say yes, I'm from that college, and then because people know me, they know the college, right?
yes,
Now people will know VS because
yes.
they know
You are
me,
part
right?
of
So
it.
that's the
Yes.
thing.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's the other way around, and
Yes.
students can't be crying about colleges, right?
Yes.
Oh, my college is this, my college is that. It doesn't
Yes.
matter. No one cares. You ensure that whatever years you spend inside
Yes.
your own college is where you are giving something back to the college, more than fees, right? Not
Yes.
only fees, I mean contribution in the way of
Sure. Yes. Yes.
trophies and whatever. Yeah.
Your experience and everything like that in future. Even as you said about moot courts and debates. So, are you talking about only college events that happen, or also you should participate in like another colleges also if you get an opportunity? Because
What do you
their
mean
registration,
by?
because they're like in intra colleges, like we go, so we their huge registration fees are like asked for that. No, so I'm asking ki, say if we go there, then some of the students they don't have that financial stability to be there. So, is there anything like restriction or
Yes, I understand what you're trying to say. So, see, I'm not telling you to like give up your life's money to do moot court. Just because I've said to do moot court, you have to do moot courts. If you think you're not in a position to do it, write a research paper. That's like the freest thing in the world, right? You
something?
don't have to pay money to anyone to publish a paper. So, I'm telling you to remain inside your means and do as much as possible. The idea is for you to look all rounded. If you think you
Okay.
cannot do something because something is expensive, don't do it. That's okay.
Mm.
I mean, we get it. Like I
Okay.
said, the heaviest thing, there are candidates, there are legit candidates who have only internships in their CV. They've done nothing else. And those are the ones with the best jobs, right?
Okay.
So, and an internship pays you back, right? So the idea is if you think you cannot afford something, you must do. And do it under good people. Please don't do it on that, under people who like hold, make you do photocopy and all that. I know that there are some lawyers who
Exactly. Yes,
yeah, make you do photocopy, hold their blazer and all. Don't go under those people, right? And
you
if
have
no, if
paid
someone's not
this
giving
thing.
you, yes, yes. If
Mhm.
someone's not giving you a stipend, don't do the internship. It's like
Okay.
not worth your time. So,
Okay. So, like, how to like get an internship? Because as a first generation lawyer, we are like told that they only need fourth or fifth year law students. And as you said, ki we should start from first year. So they said you don't have any experience, you don't know the law. Even colleges don't allow us due to attendance criteria and everything. So, what's your point of view on that?
see, nowadays a lot of good places, right? And I'm not talking about only ones in India. During the pandemic, I realized this. There is immense scope for virtual internships and research internships for students who are below fourth year, right? See, litigation is not the in Mumbai University. Let me tell you this:
Yes,
we have a mindset of litigation, right?
yes,
Litigation is not where law is. There is a huge world out there. It's regulatory compliance. There are transactional lawyers. There are legal technologists. Do you understand? They like make software for lawyers. That is also a legal internship. Do not restrict yourself to that litigation. You don't have to go to court every day, right?
Yes.
Respect each and every type of legal work. So there's no need for you to stick to that. See, initially, if you're not getting internships, try for a research internship. Try for a virtual internship. No one's
Okay.
stopping you from doing that. Don't find for lawyers who will give you court internship and then exploit you, not pay you stipend, make you hold their blazers. It's
Yes.
not necessary to do that, right?
Okay. So, like, what are the criteria to get those virtual internships per se?
Let's say I'll give you an example. See, you have nothing in your CV and
Okay.
you want a research internship. What will
Yes.
you do? You will write blog articles.
Okay.
Start writing blog articles. Now you've written three blog articles which have been
Yes.
published, okay, in reputed platforms. Then let's say you've done one course related to whatever research area that particular internship is. Now
Okay.
you have something in your CV. Then you
Yes.
will apply for that internship.
Yes.
You will apply for two, three internships. You will get that. So that comes
Yes.
again in your CV. So it's a small step. The easiest thing
Huh.
to do as a law student,
Okay.
let's say if you is to research, right?
Huh.
Because that's the first thing you start and start right from the first year.
Okay.
Make mistakes and learn from those mistakes.
Yes.
After that, let's say if there is someone who's wanting to fund you, or let's say your parents agree to let you do a course. Do
Hmm.
a course. Go for a competition. Start there. Then apply for internship. So which means there is something in
Okay.
your CV.
Okay. And also, like, what a future of AI also I would like to know about it. In career of law, particularly. How do you use
So
AI
see,
also? That's also a different question.
yes. See, I understand that. So what I see right now, because even we take up interns, right? It's very difficult to get in a firm. That's a different thing. But we do take up interns, and I see one of them.
Hmm.
Of course, he is no longer an intern. That's a different thing. But if you give him a task, he just puts it on an AI platform and gives me the answer without
Uh,
checking it. Uh, so this is misuse of AI, not
yes.
use of AI. No one likes people who misuse AI. No one likes,
Hmm.
even the judges don't like lawyers who are going to just use
Yes.
AI and draft a
Recently, the
petition,
judge
right?
has given that statement regarding that,
Yeah,
stating
yeah.
false cases.
So absolutely, it's not only about that false cases. Yes, there has been a
Huh.
controversy about that,
Huh.
but the idea is law requires originality. Legal practice requires originality, and
Yes.
that's the reason why no technology will ever be able to replace a lawyer. So it's very necessary that people use their brains. See, use AI. I'm not saying I'm not against using AI.
Hmm.
Use it to take help. Treat it like another junior,
Yes.
that who's helping you. This does not mean you just take that and,
Hmm.
paste it or give it, right?
Huh.
That's not the way to do it. So
Hmm.
use AI,
Hmm.
but unfortunately, like you asked me, the future of the legal profession will have a lot of misuse of AI.
Hmm.
And that is where the difference between a horrible lawyer, a
Hmm.
good lawyer, and an excellent lawyer will come. Because an
Yes.
excellent lawyer who's at the top will use AI and not misuse AI, and
Yes.
will be able to make the best use of it while keeping the originality,
Okay.
right?
So how do you use it per se, like while you're arbitration or something like that, while you practice, how do you use AI while writing also a research paper?
While writing a research paper, don't use it. All right. This is
Okay.
maybe people will not agree with me, but I don't endorse this. Research
Okay.
paper, every word has to be original. The
Okay.
moment you use AI, see your top journals, right? Let's say if you want to
Huh.
give in Oxford University Press or somewhere, they have
Hmm.
softwares. Even if one word comes from the AI
Hmm.
technology, your paper will be rejected immediately. So
Plagiarism,
research
yeah.
papers, no AI. Yes,
Hmm.
yes. Now there is something called there are now different AI tools coming up also. So
Yes.
that's now there's going to be a new category to find that
Yes.
out beyond plagiarism. As
Okay.
far as how it can help arbitrations,
Hmm.
one of the most useful techniques is transcription. So what
Okay.
happens is generally arbitrations are very difficult, right? The arbitrator cannot be expected to remember everything and he cannot keep making notes.
Okay.
So AI technology helps the arbitrator in making notes.
Okay.
It records the proceeding, prepares summaries,
Hmm.
and sorts the evidence and everything. So that's super
Okay.
useful.
Okay.
But that does not mean an arbitrator should use that AI technology to just draft an award.
Okay.
So,
Huh.
because that's drafted by AI, not by the arbitrator. So why are we paying fees?
Hmm.
That it defeats the entire purpose.
Hmm.
Even councils, for that matter, they shouldn't give the written submissions which are from AI.
Right.
It is very necessary that it comes from,
Or something.
or yes, originality.
Yes.
That's the prime. So you use it, take help. Never use it for research, but in arbitrations, use it for being assisted.
Okay. And apart from that, what books are to be read by?
One book I will recommend to everyone is Courtroom Genius. All right, you
Okay.
have to read it. It's
Okay.
it's out of the world, right? It's because Nani Palkira's journey has been really helpful. One is that. Second is
Okay.
called Honor Bound, right? It's
No.
of this Zaiwala, Mr. Zaiwala, who's a very popular international lawyer. So for
Okay.
students who are looking to have a more international practice and not like
Okay.
local, you must read Honor Bound because uh, that's a beautiful book about the struggles of an Indian lawyer who's settled overseas and how he makes a name for himself. So that's again, these are the two books I would like all students to read.
Okay. Sure. Thank you for sharing that. It will be really helpful. And also, like, legal principle you say, swear by.
One legal principle is whereby the law is indeed a jealous mistress, right? And
Hmm.
if you don't constantly woo her, you're going to have a divorce with the law, right? So it's necessary that you spend immense amounts of time and be committed to it. So that's one
Okay.
principle I've always lived by.
Any misconception that you know about arbitration, like in society, Indian society also, you must have faced.
Yes, yes. I don't know. This is amongst lawyers. Forget Indian society. Indian society
Uh,
does not understand arbitration, although
yes.
we invented it. Yeah.
Yes.
But lawyers think arbitration is a specialization. But
Okay.
it's not a specialization. When you ask someone, "Oh, I'm an arbitration lawyer," so
Uh,
that's like saying I'm a litigation lawyer, right? It's a
uh,
mode of dispute resolution.
yes.
It's not a specialization. Inside
Uh,
arbitration, what do you do? Do you do
yes.
real estate? Do you do commercial? Do you do intellectual property?
Yes.
There is a huge world. So it's a
Yes.
method of dispute resolution.
No.
Misconception is that arbitration is a specialization. It isn't.
No. No.
Even law firms are writing it on their website. Oh, we do arbitration. But
Yes,
that's just a
exactly. I've seen
method.
that.
What
Uh,
what kind of arbitration? That is what matters, right? It's not a specialization.
yes.
That's the misconception. Yeah.
Okay. And your go-to stress buster.
Oh yeah, I'm a musician, right? So for me, it's music. Yeah, I can play like 8 instruments. So yeah,
Like, do you
that's
get
my first question.
time to do that? Like, pursue your hobby?
I I make time. I make time for it because that's as important as this. I won't be able to do anything in law if I don't focus on my hobbies. So yes,
You're a good musician.
I
I've
make sure
seen
that.
your plays and everything like
Yeah,
that.
thank you, thank you. Yeah.
Mhm. And how do you manage like both the things? Like you must be also practicing in there, right? And also there.
I do, I do.
Yeah. So
So
how do you manage like both the things altogether?
it's fairly easy once you really know your concepts, right? And once you've done your studies and once you have a little experience,
Hmm.
it's not that difficult. It's just
Okay.
about managing
Yeah.
it,
Huh.
code dates.
Great.
See, at the start, speaking from a first generation perspective, also because I'm sure a lot of audience will be that way. You'll be working under someone, so you
Okay.
don't get to decide anything, right? Though
Okay.
your boss says do this, you have to do
Senior.
this.
Hmm.
Yeah, you will learn from there. So no need to worry about that. If you're
Okay.
second generation like me, you have to manage everything. Then the burden is on you because the client relies upon
Okay.
you to do everything. So that's a different thing. There is privilege, but there's more burden also. For someone who's employed, you don't have to worry. If you're just an associate, you're like, fine, my partner will see it. Why do I have to
Okay.
worry about it?
Okay. So let's start. And like one a word that describes your whole legal journey.
Perseverance. Perseverance is the word because that's what I've been doing. That's it.
Okay. So you are talking about discipline, perseverance. So and also like I would like to know that you said about abstract and everything that you highlighted about research paper. So research paper basically how students write, like they just copy and they just paste that info, like from links also they just paste it. So how are we expected to write that? Like write in our
Yeah, so
own
see,
the same
yes,
info?
yes, yes. See, when you read something, right, and this is logic, right? That's the reason why law students are taught logic in the
Yes.
first year itself, I believe. When you read something, your mind forms an inference, it forms an opinion.
Yes.
Write that, that's it.
Okay.
But
Okay.
what people are doing, I will change that. Oh, plagiarism checker and all. I have never in my
Ah.
life, in my 86
Hmm.
publications, used a plagiarism checker because I know I don't need it. Every word is
Hmm.
original. And the level of confidence comes because all I'm writing is what I believe. When I read something, I form an opinion in my mind, and that's
Okay.
what I'm writing. So when you read something, what you feel about it, what is your
Okay.
opinion about it, or how you would present that, write it in your own words. Don't copy
Okay.
paste. Right? That's not ethical. Yeah.
Okay. So then in footnotes, like we have to mention the links that we use.
Yes. Yes.
And what's the
Yes.
authentic source for also can you mention?
Authentic source is always good research papers.
Okay.
Those are secondary sources, but there are primary sources are always judgment, notification, any government reports. These are all primary reports. I'm talking from legal perspective, right? There
Yes,
is
yes.
research and management, all that also.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
not talking about that.
Hmm.
So if you focus more on primary sources, that's good because that means that you can form I mean, original opinions. Your
Okay.
research is more authentic. But as a student, I'm not expecting anyone to do that.
Hmm.
So rely on good research papers to form
Okay.
inferences. I'm not
Okay.
saying write what they are saying. Oh yeah, I
Huh.
agree with Mr. This so and so wrote in this research paper this, so I'm agreeing with that. So then there's no purpose of your research.
Yes. And anything like you would like to talk about rather than my questions?
Yes. So students, right, have integrity. That's what I'll tell you. Don't try to cheat.
Okay.
Then sometimes what happens is looking at other students or your
Hmm.
friends or whatever,
Hmm.
you might have a fear that, oh, he's doing or she's doing so much and I'm not able
Hmm.
to do it.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter. You can be a late bloomer, but it's necessary for you to have discipline and have integrity, right?
Okay.
Do not cheat, do not take shortcuts, and those are not the ways. And don't do something just for the sake of doing. Remain true to yourself, and you will be successful no matter what you do.
And we have just many such competitions, like at various levels and at huge levels. So what do you think, like young you just like mistaking or like what are the things that you have experienced while you have judged those competitions?
So see, I've experienced a lot of things, but let me tell you this: it's very common for students to panic.
Hmm.
So if a judge asks a question and you don't know the answer to the question,
Yes.
you'll just start panicking, right? Don't do that. It's okay.
Okay.
That the idea of doing this is clinical training. Moods. What is the mood code? It's a clinical training for
Okay.
you to prepare for how,
Hmm.
a real world court setting.
Actual.
Although, yes, yes. Although the memorials and all which are drafted, all that color and all that is
Ah.
not real, right? That's not how you
Okay.
draft really.
Okay.
But still, it's
Hmm.
just the idea. It's because you're still a law student, you do this. So don't
Hmm.
panic if someone asks you a question. Take
Huh.
some time and answer. Secondly, do not bluff. Judges
Okay.
do not like students
Hmm.
who bluff, right?
Okay.
That's the worst thing you can do as a
Okay.
student. Because then I know that when you're bluffing, I can see it in your eyes, right?
Hmm.
Like I'm experienced. So I'll
Yes.
just ask you another question. I'll ask you a follow up question. And then I know
Wow.
you've bluffed. -5. Just cut out your
Wow.
marks. So I don't care,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
That's the thing.
Hmm.
So do not bluff, do not panic,
Hmm.
and always ensure that you're well prepared. Something which I see is the lack of preparation, especially in the preliminary round level,
Hmm.
where people are coming, looking, oh, give us 2 minutes. Oh, let me have a look at the paper. Some people will be shamelessly reading.
Yes.
So you need to prepare.
Hmm.
And how do you prepare? Rehearse before the mirror. If you have a mirror, look at yourself, rehearse again and again and again.
Hmm.
And so be prepared. It's very
But like,
necessary that you do this.
as in like last time I had participated in parliamentary debate, so we got only 30 minutes. So how can we prepare in like 30 minutes, like we'll do whole research because we weren't given any topic or such that. So how to judge like what can be asked
See,
and what?
the parliamentary debate requires a different set of skills, right? You have
Okay.
to know your regular daily affairs,
Huh.
your regular affairs. So if you keep yourself updated, if you have knowledge,
Huh.
you will of course have confidence.
Yes.
So, from a parliamentary debate perspective, when you're not given time to prepare,
Yes.
you have to ensure that you're always updated with world affairs, right? Your
Yes.
regular, your country's
Huh.
affairs,
Hmm.
yeah, right? Day to day,
Yes.
what is happening. So, if you know
Okay.
everything, what is there to know? Any topic they throw at you, any recent
Yes.
topic they throw at you which is being controversial, you'll be able to answer because you have knowledge about that.
Yes.
So, try to supplement the lack of preparation by knowledge. If you have knowledge,
Okay.
you'll have confidence and you'll speak well. So,
Yes. Okay. So, like in other competitions, like it could be the same. What are the other criteria for judging a well competition? Is this only bluff
yeah,
and
pretty
like what
much.
you are
See,
well prepared?
See, preparation is everything, right? If you're going to read, no one wants to listen to you. I
That
don't
is
even want to see anyone's face.
yes.
Yeah. Preparation is one thing, authenticity is the other thing,
Okay.
originality is the advanced thing, right?
Okay.
You're a law student, so no one's expecting originality from you. But if you give an argument which no one else is doing, then of course
Okay.
you're going to win the competition. So try
Okay.
for that.
Okay.
So the idea of this is to be so well prepared and to be so well versed with the facts is that you'll be able to come up with a good argument, right? And
Okay.
that happens when you practice between your, let's say you have two members, three team members. So one becomes the judge, one becomes the student,
Hmm.
participant.
Yes.
And then you have to cross question each other. That's how
Okay.
you'll be well prepared. So these are some of the tips.
Okay.
Everything else is subjective, right? There's
Yes.
nothing else. Yeah. These are some soft skill aspects.
Okay. So that was quite helpful for everyone. And other things apart from this is like international law, like you said. So how to develop that, like how to study, like for how to begin like preparing for international law. And you said
See how to,
hmm,
yeah, right.
how to
So see,
start. How?
first you have to do your basics. One is public
Okay.
international law.
Oh, okay.
Second is private international law.
Ah,
Basic concepts till you don't learn, you won't be able to enter international law,
okay.
right? What is now public international law? It is what ICJ and everything does.
Okay.
Dispute between two countries,
Okay.
dispute between territories. Let's say if
Hmm.
there is a dispute in the law of the sea, that's public international law. International commercial litigation, commercial arbitration, private international law.
Hmm.
There are some basic concepts you have to start from there. Start with reading judgments. So see, ICJ proceedings, International Court of Justice. That's the most basic thing everyone knows about international law.
Hmm.
The proceedings are posted live on the internet on their website. Have a look at how the hearing is done.
Okay.
Develop interest. You
Hmm.
can literally watch the proceeding of counsels arguing and all in the ICJ. It's not like a secret thing.
Hmm.
Start from there. Start from the International Criminal Court. Start from these sources. Then you will start understanding the basics of international law,
Yes.
right? And then you will venture into more advanced concepts. Everything is
Okay.
available on the internet now. It's just a matter of initiative.
Okay.
In fact, even the ICSID, it's
Hmm.
a International Arbitration Investment Tribunal, right? All the judgments, all the awards which are passed are published online.
Hmm.
So you just have to go on the website and start reading. That's it.
Okay. So reading judgments and everything. And what is international law? You
Right?
said
See,
about public.
private international law is a conflict of laws, right? When there is national laws of more
Okay.
than one country involved. This
Okay.
happens in arbitrations. In
Okay.
arbitrations, let's say two parties enter into a contract.
Hmm.
They will say that the laws of England and Wales will apply to the contract.
Huh.
While doing the arbitration agreement, they will say the arbitration will be governed by the laws of Singapore.
Okay.
Are you understanding what is happening
Yes.
here?
Yes.
But for while deciding the venue, they will say it will happen inside India. So an
Okay.
Indian arbitrator who's
Hmm.
sitting here
Hmm.
is going to decide the dispute based on laws of England and Wales. But
Uh-huh.
which court will have jurisdiction?
Jurisdiction.
Singaporean courts.
Okay.
Singaporean courts will have jurisdiction. The
Okay.
reason for this is that there is a conflict of laws happening.
Hmm. So that was a very insightful conversation. So what is the last message that you would give to law students while practicing in this career?
Yeah, this is pretty much what I said before because that was my last message, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah,
Integrity.
be disciplined and have integrity, right? And do not like lose hope just because you see other people doing well.
Hmm.
If you have commitment towards whatever you're doing, you will of course always be successful. So that's pretty much sums it.
Okay. So it was quite insightful session. It was privilege to hear from you as you are so experienced and well versed with everything. Like you highlighted about many good things like technology and use of technology in arbitration and many things like internships. And also you talked about like various strategies regarding research paper and books and everything like that. It was quite really helpful and like I'm sure it will be helpful for every law student and everybody who is practicing in this area. And also, do you think like we should also prepare for competitive exams or something like that? Or
You
something?
should, if you
Okay.
have interest. See, some students want to be good at drafting, right?
Ah,
So they can go for this Bombay Incorporated Law Society exam,
okay.
BILS. It's solicitor exam, right?
Okay.
That's one of the hardest exams.
Hmm.
I know for a fact that the amount of commercial awareness, business
Hmm.
knowledge, which a
Hmm.
solicitor has is unmatched, right?
Okay.
That's one competitive exam you can do. Some people want to get into civil services.
Okay.
They want to use their knowledge in law and become IAS officers, or maybe go for IFS as ambassadors.
Hmm.
That's a very good route as well. Some
Okay.
some people want to get into judiciary
Yes.
also. Yeah. So you see, if you want to be a career judge, you can certainly
Hmm.
do that. But the
Hmm.
best way to get into the judiciary is to practice first for 10 to
Okay.
15 years and then straight away become a high court judge, right? I know it's not easy as I say,
Yes.
but yes, it's always better than going from being
Ah.
a career judge, right? Because you've
Okay.
practiced, so you understand like the real intricacies. I'm
Yes.
not saying that the judges who going from the exams don't understand the law, right? That's not what I'm saying.
Yes.
But
Yes.
still,
I
yeah, you
understand.
should go for competitive exams.
Yeah.
So that's what. See, the law is a very dynamic profession. There's no need to restrict yourself to one mindset.
Fine field. Huh.
If you think something is useful for you, go right ahead. If you think company secretary helps you, do it. If you think chartered accountant helps you, I mean the exams help you,
Hmm.
do it. Because
Okay.
everything is complementing your legal education,
Okay.
and it's only going to help you.
Thank you for highlighting that. So it was really valuable and insightful to hear from you. And I'm really thankful that you joined the session and took out your valuable time and joined us. You are like so much like doing like in fact like pursuing like your hobbies. Even like you are involved in such a high post in like in your careers also, and you have been practicing in India as well as in Abu Dhabi Courts and like seems like college is not the only thing that decides your career. It's your experience that decides and that you give to your college. So thank you. It's a privilege that you were a part of our college, and we'll definitely be proud as a
Yeah.
student
Thank
also.
you. Thank you.
Okay.
No problem. Yeah.
Thank you.